Hello. This is Silver 4 on a moira gameplay. Now I'll probably focus more on the Ana gameplay here because I know how to play Ana more than I know how to play Moira. Because I'm a huge I used to be a huge Ana one trick. Now I'm a two trick. All right, so here let me pull up your thing real quick. All right, so here I'm gonna be looking at your probably macro positioning. I probably won't look as much into your micro right now. So yeah.
Do what? Whip.
Right, so really the fight hasn't started, so I went. There's nothing too like blaringly obvious right now. Blaringly obvious. So
The payload's
your
moving.
yeah your team is kind of just pushing out for free. All right. Here's when I would probably make my first rotate. So if we kind of look at their team right now, um, a lot of this area right here is safe space, right? Because they'd have to go other way. Like right now, they're all focused on these two up here. So I would say, this isn't a bad spot, especially since your team hasn't had a real fight yet. But I would say maybe rotate around here, because if you rotate around here, when the card gets to up here, and the enemy team pushes back to way over there, you'll be able to walk around here, and you'll be able to take this high ground. And that high ground is such a good spot because look right here, you have cover, and also you'll be able to get a really juicy angle like later on in the fight. So I would say probably maybe instead of here, maybe rotate around to a slight angle from point. Maybe I'll be careful of the Hanzo. You have to respect him and the Junkrat. But I would say maybe here, jiggle peek a lot. Like your Juno has your healing covered basically. So
Sword for your
I do like
wounds.
this. This is a good nade because you pressure out the uh Reinhardt because he can't really do anything, and then you'll probably force the Kira to use Suzu if she actually pays attention. Yeah, look, and you force out Suzu, and now the Rein kind of has to walk away. Now, I would have said that maybe I would have preferred, if you're over here, maybe an anti onto the Mercy or Junkrat if you could hit that, but I wouldn't. I'm not going to disagree with that anti on the Rein. Okay, so here I would say probably let your Arisa take point, and then you can rotate around to where your Ash Juno Tracer is. And then look, since you're so far away, your Arisa needs healing and then your Ash needs healing, so then you're not quite as ready to help them. I imagine you'll help them in the next 2 seconds. That's still a good thing to keep in mind. Especially since right now you can't really damage anyone, right? Your Tracer's on them right now, right? Your Tracer's actually doing a really good angle because now their Rein's alone. But I would have preferred you maybe if you had stayed out here, then you could rotate around and then do some damage onto these three or two now technically. So your Tracer can get those picks really easily, and then now you make the fight even worse for them. Yeah, instead you're playing very passively right now. You're not really looking for any active angles. So even though you win that fight, you didn't really do anything besides keep people alive. And as Ana, you have to do a lot. You have a lot of damage, especially with your nade. So you have to make sure that you do enough damage. Okay, I don't really like that nade, but I mean you'll have it by the time the card goes around, so I think it's fine.
Welcome to orbit! Helden sterben nicht. Fire in the hole!
Alright, so I know a lot of your concern about was, should I stay on point or should I go up even if that means abandoning the point? I would say, well, it really depends, right? Because your team should not have been this far up. like generally, out like out. If I was coaching like a team, I would say probably hang around back here instead because you have more control over cover and stuff. But I would say in this situation, since if you abandon cart, you're basically feeding. I would say you kind of have to stay. Um, yeah. Yeah, and then I like this drop. You identified that you can't really do anything at this point, so you're just not doing anything, which makes it hard. Which like kind of makes it hard because like there's not much to coach because you're just kind of playing very passively, which preferably I would say force your teammates to do the passiveness because this is silver, right? Like they're gonna be passive whether or not you do anything. So I would say you be aggressive and play more selfishly, especially in ranked. I like this damage. I like this damage. I would say yeah, that's just mechanics, but you'll get better with that as you play. So I wouldn't worry about that too
We
much.
need to get the payload moving.
That was dangerous, but I'm not gonna say anything about that.
My ultimate is almost ready.
Yeah, again here, you need to be more aggressive, right? Because, I mean, who are you gonna help right here? Like, what your Tracer and Ash who are basically in your backline right now? You're not gonna do anything right here. I would say, again, take up here. It's such a valuable point, especially on first and second point. Because especially for like the beginning of first point, you can like look at this. You have like LOS all the way up to like over here. So like if their team pushes in, you can land an anti and then like basically shut down their entire fight instantly. Or you can just use your primary fire to do damage and heal. Because then like inside right here, you're kind of just like stuck. Like look, you're not like. Admittedly, your tank was being too aggressive, especially for your Juno being dead, but like maybe you could have saved the Juno. Yeah, don't use your nade as a heal because your Tracer wasn't in any danger, so you didn't need to. I know that was a panic nade, I do it too, but you shouldn't do it, that's my point. This is a tip, especially against the Hanzo, right? You almost never want to be scoped down main where when you know the Hanzo is like trying to look for a snipe, right? Because if you like kind of sit here and stay scoped, like you move very slowly. Like this is probably faster than what you would actually strafe. And Hanzo's projectile is so big that even if you strafe like this, like he still has a really good chance to hit you. So I'd say that's like a macro thing. Don't like hard scope against snipers. Like learn to quick scope. Like go play on a paintball. That's what I did. I would say nano your tank here. Because nano. You should have nano way earlier because like your Zarya is in the middle of them, right? Like and their Zarya is like pretty low on resources because God knows where the Curie is. Yeah, right. The Kiri's dead. Mercy can't do much healing, so I'd say you should have nanoed your Zarya way earlier, because that would enable your Zarya to do more aggression. Like that's a huge thing with nano. Use it to enable another team, like your team's aggression. I'm like, you could have made it so much easier if you had nanoed your Zarya, because then their Zarya would also be dead, and probably their soldier too, right? But then now you're just kind of like stuck. Again, nano yours. Like look at this, right? Like just nano yours are like using an ult to capture a point is worth. It's worth it. There's no place in this world where using an ult to like capture a stall point isn't worth it. Unless it's like a 1v5, but like that's very rare that you would ever like actually do that. Again, like you're being too conservative with your nano and now your Zarya dies. Like you should have won that like 10 seconds ago. Also, nade your Zarya's grab, right? Like especially if it has more than one person in it. At the very worst, you force out Kirisuzu, but then like they're already in a bad spot because they don't have Kirisuzu and they're in the middle of the open. So nade that because it's such a good spot to nade. There's no reason why you shouldn't. Look at it. You're 5 minutes in and you still haven't used a single ult yet. That's like supports, especially on a BAP, Juno, Moira. They get their ults so quickly you wouldn't even believe it. So yeah, you need to use them because otherwise you lose the fight like this. This was a winnable fight. I expected you to win this fight, to be honest. Like, I was expecting you to nano your Zarya at some point, but you should have and you didn't. So. Never run away. Especially it's Ana, because like Ana, you don't have any movement penalties. Like you don't have any movement abilities that only work well going forward. Like always look towards the enemy, even when you're running away, right? Because then you can shoot. Like you had sleepy, you had anti, like right. Use either of those abilities. They have to either back off or they're like just slightly more worried about shooting you, right? You need to give yourself a chance, which you haven't done at all so far.
I won't give up. Humanity is shackled.
Yeah, I would say.
I will find the key.
I would say stick on it because I'm not gonna lie, your Juno Silver 4, she does not know what she's talking about. That's the truth. Like even in like Diamond Masters, I would say don't swap unless you want to, because like especially on Circuit Royale, like look at these sightlines. Alright, so Moira's primary is like 20 meters. How far is 20 meters? It's probably like primary her like before their fires is like this long. And then if we look at Circuit, what are you gonna do? You can damage this much, you can heal maybe like this much. Like these sightlines don't work for you at all. So basically right now what you have to do is kind of do the opposite of what your Juno said and actually take more flanks here, right? Because if you just stand and heal bot, you're not gonna do anything. That's your Juno's fault. Your Juno should not have died there.
My power emanates.
So especially on Moira, use your ults more, because like Moira's the ultimate stat farmer, which means she farms ults super quickly. Alright, so for Orb, it's a 4-second cooldown, right? Like you can use it to get a bit of like cheeky heals or poke damage, right? Cause like if like you also have to use the map geometry. Like imagine if you like damage orb or heal orb down here, like bomb, 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 bomb. It bounces everywhere, right? Alright, so if I look here, like if you like heal orb, it like does like this. You can heal everyone here. If you damage orb, it goes like this. You damage this, 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 and maybe the Curie. But then you sent up the orb up to here, which I mean I get what you're trying to do, but like you're trying to heal someone who's position, but like you know that's kind of Ash's fault. And maximize your orb's value, right? Because like you did nothing there. But look at this. Your Juno should be on cart. I'm gonna be totally for real with you. Abandon cart. Let your Juno take care of it. If your Juno doesn't take care of it, she's the one who's throwing. Because look at like, what are you doing? You're doing nothing. Like, I could get a training bot and do the exact same thing as you, but now your team has another support to play. Like, just go up here. Like you're survivable. You have a shit ton of heals. You farm damage basically. Like even if you're like right next to your tank, you're pretty much invincible unless you like majorly fuck up. Let your Juno do that. Your Juno should be back here actually, or like maybe even your Ashe or Tracer if they were alive, right? You should not be back here for any reason at all. Especially like you're not doing anything.
The payload is in our care.
See what you're trying to do? You're trying to get some like sneaky, like point charge before you run away. But you should run away very soon. Yeah, run away. Unfortunate, but it was gonna happen, so I wouldn't like stress about it too much. Damage. Hey, you're just too slow. Like you're not gonna do anything with heal orb anyways. Like look at this geometry right here, right? You send up heal orb, it goes all the way up here, and then just maybe it bounces back down for like 20 extra healing. You're not doing anything, right? Just damage orb immediately the second you see that. Yeah, I would say that fade was useless, right? Like no one was shooting you. That was purely panic because you're like, oh, I'm out here, I need to run away. But then you just kind of like go up here, you stay in the same spot, and then you run around your Zarya dies because you couldn't get a fading time, and then you die. So yeah, you have to fade towards a direction. You didn't really do that at all.
Great minds are always
Especially on this map, I probably would have stayed on Ana. Like, yeah, typing. Type. Yeah, that was really a nothing burger, right? Like, both your DPS died really quickly. And at that point, the fight's pretty much over. Like, your Zarya is dead. You're not saving that. Nothing you can do about that. Bastion just kind of fed there. Again, use map geometry, right? Like, you're using your primary. You vastly overestimate your primary range. Like, your primary maybe goes up to here. Maybe here at most, but, like, you're not getting that soldier. You're not getting that Hanzo. You're not getting that Juno. Like, why peek? Like, they have such an advantage over you. I'll say just damage orb main, get a little bit of poke damage. And just kind of run away right after that, because there's no point in doing anything else. Like, your abilities are so, like, distance focused. Actually, I didn't notice how long you had cold. You had cold, like, what, 2-3 minutes? That's not that bad for cold, but I would say, like, that was probably the first fight I could have actually used it, but I would say, like, that was a good cold. The Hanzo just shut it down too quickly. You're enabling team aggression, that's good, but you couldn't do anything else, so that's bad, but that's not your fault. Again, what are you doing? Like, you're doing nothing right here. You're holding primary. Look at this. They're all either far away or they're behind cover, so they can't do anything to you. Alright, I forgot what I was talking about. Alright, now I remember what I was talking about. I had to go record. I had to go leave for something. So basically, yeah, why are you holding your damage? There's no one here. There's no one here. Just spam your heals and then maybe go for, like, just like kind of like spray your Bastion, right? Because your Bastion's taking all the aggro. Like, spray your Bastion for now and then maybe send a damage orb down this way so you can get a bit like cheeky poke damage, but you're not doing anything right now. Again, I always said this probably would have been the time to use Cole, but you didn't know the Hanzo had Dragon, so that's kind of a Alright, a big tip I learned with Moira, like, that I just found out playing on my own, is whatever you orb, do the opposite of what you did, right? So here I will said maybe either damage orb and heal your team, or heal orb your team and then damage the Zarya, right? Because then you're kind of like min-maxing your potential. But like now, I think you just threw a damage orb and you start right-clicking. There's no point in doing that, right? You're a Moira against the Zarya. You're not killing her. Yeah. Again, this is definitely your fault. There's no reason to be here. Like, look at this. What's this? I guess you wanted. Oh no, never mind. That's the enemy team going in on you. Yeah, I would say. Yeah, you couldn't have done anything at this point. Like, I did not notice that these were the enemies, to be honest. Yeah, your team loses here. Alright, I would say Moira is a really hard hero, especially for Moira's a really hard hero for this particular. Not she's a hard hero. She's a hard hero for this map, right? Because I mean, look at all these super long sidelines, right? You're not gonna be doing anything. Like, what your primary goes up to like here, maybe. What about the rest of the map, right? Ana is actually a really good pick for this because you have like super long range. So in Ana you can actually do stuff, but as Moira you can't really do anything. Except for like kind of like go almost like a Genji almost. Not quite how I would say, but like off angle, right? Like kind of fuck up their backline, like cuz like look at them. They're going like probably the only person who can contest you like super easily is the Curie, right? Hanzo maybe, but this is Silver, so he can't hit his shots anyway. Soldier same thing. So be more careful around Soldier. But the Soldier will panic and miss all his shots like I do when I see him more around DPS. So I would say this wouldn't be a bad position if you're on Ana, right? Because like you have like range and stuff on Ana. But I would say actually as Moira, you should probably be controlling this building here, right? Because I mean you have like a 6-second invisibility cooldown. Like if they like you can just kind of hang out over here, and if you see someone trying to angle, like someone contesting you, you can either like try 1v1 them or you can fade out. And then, look, you're back to where you started, but now you actually did something instead of just kind of sitting here, right? You're not doing anything at this position. It looks like this is going to be a sweep based on how long it is.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Again, you're just kind of sticking around main. This is a big problem a lot of support players have. Or, like, not just support players, but all players have in, like, especially metal ranks. Just kind of hang around main without taking the angles. Like,
2, 1.
Like, look, now their team has free reign. Their team has free reign up until here. Or, like, maybe even, like, here. Because, like, look. Zarya's too focused on Sig, and Soldier, Hanzo are uncontested into shooting you in your backline, right? Look at this. This is the wet dream of a DPS player. And you have to make it so that the DPS players have to work for it, right? So, you have to either rotate around here and harass their supports, or maybe like you can even like go around here, duel the Soldier, like kind of like weave in and out between here and here. Be careful that the Sig and Kiri doesn't get you. Or you can, or like I would probably done this like pre-fight. Maybe rotate around to this building and make sure like no DPS can sneak in through there. But like you need to take more angles, especially on this map, because as Moira you can't do anything as a heal bot.
Need a moment to recharge.
Yeah, and then like you drained yourself of resources, right? Like you had no heal because you couldn't do damage. Everyone was too far, right? So your team loses that point because you can't really do anything. Right?
They outnumber us. Watch out.
I was told this when I was in gold, gold 4, I think. Never go AFK. Like ever. Look at this. They have a one-shot character, two-shot character, beam you down character, rock you character, shoot you character. Alright, like, do not stand still. I guess, yeah, I get that like sometimes there's like life situations that like force you to kind of like not like go away from the computer for a bit. But like, yeah, like especially if you're just like checking your phone or something, don't do that. I guess this is where like someone was calling you or something.
Careful, we're outnumbered.
And then like you lose first point off of that alone. I get it, life stuff happens, but your team was too staggered to win that anyways. Yeah, again, here I would have maybe actually said fade out here early, right? Like retreat here over here, because look at this, you now have like control over this space. And especially like right now, like look at who they have. Like everyone is focused on like just looking down here. If you're like over here, maybe you could have helped your Zarya. You would have had a bit of an easier time to get heals because you could have like hung around here, harassed the soldier and Kiri, and you could heal the Zarya, right? So you're just you're playing too passive, especially for a Moira. Like look at this. Like invincibility, 6 seconds. Like you have a 330, you have like a 325 sustain heal, like for free, like for 7 seconds. Every 7 seconds, that's a lot.
I offer something more.
So you faded from here to here to like over here. I would say don't go for the widow at all, right? Look at this widow. Like she can just like drop off, but then she can just like drop off, grapple away. But then you took a bunch of spam damage. You have none of your cooldowns right now. Like you can't do anything if they push onto you, because like you'll be free bait for that soldier. Like you have nothing.
No one can hide.
I like this Colt because you're what's her name? Your Zarya's here, and then you can kind of stabilize that fight. But yeah, obviously, like your like you abandoned your Zarya, right? Colt does like what 50 healing per second. Especially this rank, that's a lot because like people can't hit their shots. Like while you're calling here, maybe like back up to like over here, because here you do have like a tiny bit of you have like a little scoop here. And then since your Zarya was over here, if they want to look at you, they would have to like since they were like over here, they would have to look towards you or look towards your Zarya, and that's super dangerous for them, right? Because then they have to pick a target, but instead you just play too passive and then like you're forced out.
Cannot escape me. I'm reforming you.
And you're healing. I don't know how, but you're healing too much on Moira, right? Like you're almost constantly running low. Not only because you're not damaging a lot, because you don't let yourself damage. Like you're kind of standing on main. Like if this was King's Row, I probably would have complained about you like just staying running down main. But you have to flank more, especially against like this map and this comp, because like you can't do anything in this map. Like you have to go on flanks more. Like right. Imagine if you're like around here or like go up here. And then, I don't know this map too well. And then you went up here and then contested the soldier, right? Look at this. Soldier's gonna panic and miss a lot of his shots because, of course, he will. It's silver, and he's also half health already. So if you like rotate around it here and then kill their DPS, now you made it a 4. Now you made it a 5v4. But then now you're just kind of running down main. You have no heals right now. Like literally, you have no heals. You can't do anything. Yeah, you're just not allowing yourself to damage. I would say the rest of this is just staggering onto more German too much. Yeah, pretty much nice clean up for now. Yeah, I would say your takeaways from this, ult way more. Like especially on Ana, it took you what like 5. You like did ult for 5 minutes. That's such a weird thing on Ana, especially when you get ult like every 2-3 minutes. You should be using it when you can. And also on Moira, take flanks more. Especially on this map, Moira's a really bad pick because the map is really like small and you can't do a lot. I'd say as long as you're here, like flank more, right? Because your Moira, like you're playing with a Juno. Juno does the most single target non ult heal in the game, right? She does like 90 healing per second with her primary. That's incredible. That's insanely high. That's like life weaver tree high. Like you have to like kind of let your Juno do the healing and then like flank more, so you can get resources to heal your team when you have to, and you can like also just kill people, right? I know like awkward is kind of like a controversial person I would say, but damn it, like he said this one thing I really agree with: damage when you can, heal when you have to on when you play on support, right? Like hell, even on Mercy, like like have you seen Boger's video? He does that all the time, right? Like you have to do that. Like you have to shoot, and then heal when you have to. Especially on Moira, right? Like your damage is free. Like you literally heal yourself when you when you damage, right? So you gotta do something with that. Otherwise, like you're just kind of throwing at this point, because like you're not using partial like maybe the most important part of your kit, which is your flank playstyle, right? So I'll say yes, damage way more. Right, I think that's it.